I was happy to see what people had thought about my introduction video to Giorno, but now I'm also happy to finally be able to talk about Bruno and what I had connected to him. See, Bruno is a great character to love here because of him being the first general step into the Mafia, but also in his own respective character, he's great and he's a person to not let his colors take too long to show. There are many layers as to what truly pushes Bruno, but what's the best thing about him is that his ideals have actually always remained intact because of how closely tied he is to them, and I want to show that here. The first thing is Bruno's leadership and the traits that come with it. The reasoning area of leadership is what I'll be talking about later, but the power aspect about it is what I'll be going at first. We saw this in the first episode and it held so much weight for everything at hand. Bruno and his ability to read another person and completely take apart the situation itself so that he's basically covering all potential corners of escape in both the conversation and the fight that was building up was insane. Asking basically frame-trapping questions to where he's going to be mentally running laps around the other person, and the other person in this case is Giorno. Mehdi has a video going over this interaction in the fight itself and the whole chapter itself actually, so I highly suggest that after seeing this. The next step is this introduction to his massive humanity among the Mafia world. His main objective was to find and dispose of the person who took out Luca, but with that fight he was still holding on to his core beliefs strongly while pursuing Giorno, though Giorno was able to see right through it due to the shock of Bruno and the arm and the worrying that went with it. See, Bruno and Giorno had similar beliefs when it came to living in the Mafia world, but Bruno wasn't one to follow through with them hard enough to make an impact like Giorno plans to do. They go over that in the conversation after the fight to begin to see eye to eye on each other on this. In the manga you see this because throughout the fight it was always one above the other, but now they're finally on this even ground meeting eye to eye, or more so Bruno looking up at Giorno with a sense of admiration to want to carry out these beliefs. Then you have the little small moment of Sakura to reset the mood of the moment, and it did so well because it's this little small indicator that Bruno really does care about the children of the town, and it's like a thing that you see with both of them have. Anyone could have snapped at those kids, but Bruno really isn't one to. He had a fight, and this was actually leading up to the intention of keeping control on both sides. Passione was one to push weight, but Bruno, and most likely Bruno's people, aren't ones to vouch for it, and it's difficult. It has to be extremely difficult because it's watching something you're completely against happen and take its effect over the town like how you know it would. But now he has this opportunity through Giorno to stop exactly what he's been against, and then the Mafia can do what it was made for and counter the other wrong of the world. Potentially though, because I don't really know. I'm more so seeing them as Italy's Community Restoration in Progress. If you're familiar with that acronym, you can see what I'm getting at. And the last thing is Bruno and his ability to reason and talk in general. It seems like an odd trait to point out, but it's one that I do love seeing from him, and it's also one that you really do need to have when you're a really good leader. You can't just be blatantly going about it. And I'd like to mention the other occasion to where this, and where we see it, but technically it's spoiler territory, so I won't mention the other time where I do see Bruno be a great person to talk to people. Only Giorno will be our example for now, but still, it's pretty well. On the other hand, I love the Rolling Stones. But yeah, no spoilers, I promise. I will not mention any spoilers at all. Not at all. I promise. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I really do like having these short, concrete videos. I just want to like hit this stuff back to back because it's just like, it feels so great to not overly talk about something when I don't really need to. Especially since I just got everything I needed to say out right here. But my review will be coming sooner or later. I'm not really sure on when, but just expect that. I might try out the YouTube Premiere feature. Who knows? But thank you all for watching again. Hopefully I'll see you all on the next one. Until then, peace out. Check the end cards. Appreciate Bruno. And Godspeed.